Welcome to the show. Great to be with you. Thanks for stopping by this, at least in Florida anyway, post-Irma edition. Man, oh man. Tough stuff around here. And hope you made it through okay. And everybody's safe. Up in my neck of the woods, it was no picnic up in there. Still without power. Days. It went out right away. Right down the street, I could throw a baseball and hit houses that have power, and my section, no power.
My back neighbors have power, and we didn't.
It's crazy. It's so random, right? And people, you know, and everybody has a story to tell, I'm sure. And I want to know why. Please explain me why people were lined up in gas stations yesterday. The hurricane is gone, man. They were jammed up. What? Why?
I don't know. Did your Starbucks open though over by you?
That's another story. Listen, even the American Red Cross serves coffee during disasters. They're still not open. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. Where are they when you need them?
I'm telling you.
Dunkin' Donuts was open, for heaven's sake. I went.
Did you go over there?
Yes, and the coffee was all right. I'm mad at them. Where are they? They closed it down. They've been closed since last Friday. Are you serious?
Yeah. I have a coffee question that came up this weekend.
And that is?
Okay. So I noticed if I drink caffeine, if I drink caffeine, I don't have. There is a such thing as caffeine. Okay, let me get to the point. There is such thing as a caffeine withdrawal. Is there?
Absolutely. Go ahead. If you're a caffeine consumer and you stop cold turkey, the odds are pretty good you're going to get a headache. And the caffeine and coffee will take the headache away too. I mean, so I'm just saying, yes, it's true.
And then I found,
at least for me,
right?
It is addictive.
It is addictive.
But they shut down. And all these, there's a thing called management. You work. Okay? They say, well, we don't want to impose on the employees. Well, you're management, pal. You work. And you open for business. There were people running around up where I live yesterday, right, literally looking for a place to eat because they have no power, they have nothing. All the restaurant, everything. You know who were open? You know who was open?
There was a Chinese food place by me.
All the Asian restaurants were open. You know why? Because they're entrepreneurs. They're all up. There were 3 or 4 of them open, but the lines were so long, forget about it.
Can you eat good at an Asian restaurant?
You can. You got to be careful. I ended up waiting an hour and a half to get an order to go. I was not going to cook on a Coleman stove again in the house. I did that.
I cooked on a fire pit.
So
you should have seen me. I look like Fred Flintstone.
I'm sure.
I had no shoes on because
listen. Where Gary lives, he roams with mules.
Yes.
Okay? There are mules up there, and there's a story we could tell you about the mule, but we're not going to tell you because this is, that mule is nasty.
It's interesting you were talking about food, and one of my thoughts when I briefly thought about the show during the hurricane and the event was how all of the food that we talk about that is so bad for us, that is the American diet,
people
is the stuff. Well, it's not just that people will eat it, but if that's not there, there's no fresh food, so you have to go to that stuff in order to survive. It's just kind of one of those.
And all those stores are open.
Yeah, it's just thinking how all that bad stuff that we always say, avoid, eat this other thing, that's the stuff that people need right now.
It's unbelievable. And then, again, everybody has their little story. It's the night before, not Christmas, the night before Irma. And I'm in the house, and I have everything ready. I got my mag light, I got here it is, cop issue. Water, and I walk out in the garage and I hear this noise. I said, what is that? My God, the pipe to the main line, water line that connects to the street burst in my garage. I thought, this is end of days. What's going on? The storm hasn't even... I had to open the garage. The water's rushing out. If you can imagine this now. This is the night before, and everybody's all in a panic about it. And so I'm standing out in the driveway with my arms folded, watching this water. I'm thinking, now what do I do? Well, I'm standing there, and the water is so formidable, flowing down the street. Neighbors started walking up because they thought something did happen. And so this man and his wife come walking up, and I'm standing there. I don't know if I have my hands on my hip or my pockets. I don't know, just sort of standing there. And he says, "Oh my God!" And he wigged out. He literally wigged out. And his wife was looking at him. He panicked for me. And I'm standing, and he says, "How can you be so calm?" He said, "You're so calm." He said, You're running water here. You're in a lot of trouble here, sir." And I shook my head. And then I thought, buddy, if you knew what I've been through the last 11 months, that gushing pipe is...
That's play sand right there.
That's nothing, buddy. This is God's truth. I'm standing there. A red Dodge pickup pulls up, neighbor across the street, the man, I never met him in my life. He's there to see his mom, check on his mom. He gets out of this big old Dodge pickup, and he looks at me and he said, "Would you like me to turn off the water at the main line for you? I have the tool." Honest to God, he had the tool that they use, they have to...
Yeah.
And you know why he had the tool in his truck? Because he had just come from his trailer out in Pasco, and he said, "I'm going to lose my trailer." So I had to turn the water off, and I put the tool in the truck.
Wow.
And then I'm standing there, and my realtor, Mark, who's a buddy, got in touch with him, told him what happened. I'll be there in 10 minutes, Doc. He was there. He fixed it in 45 minutes. I called you.
I know.
I called you first, and you weren't around. You wouldn't pick up on me. You left me hanging out there.
I was a bad wingman this weekend, Steve. Steve, what the thing is with his house, he's got 2 pipes that run into the garage, and that's it. Everything else is nice and beautiful, and it's 2 pipes, and one of them is a water out, and one of them is a water in.
Gary?
I'm guessing you messed this up. You had 1 or 2 choices. You cut the green wire.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Gary didn't show. I called him first because he's good at this stuff, and he probably saw me a call come in and he thought, "To hell with him." I'm not going.
I was at the neighbor's house. We were at the neighbor's house putting up plywood on their doors and windows.
Yeah, the night before Irma, I have a main water line break. You can't make it up. So it's all good though. No, some people are really suffering. It's bad throughout Florida. How many million? Tens of millions here?
7 million.
7 million?
7 million without power.
I thought it was 20 or 30.
That's what it started with yesterday.
Yeah, it was basically half the state, in a sense, lost power, and some, it's going to be a while for some of those places, but for the most part, our area here, we came out.
I came here yesterday.
Yeah, you told me that this morning.
I came into the studio to work because I had no power at home. My batteries and my phone, my computers ran. I had to come here and work. So, yeah, all's well that ends well, I guess. And
can I say something?
Yeah.
If you are on medication, or if you're taking oxygen, or something where you think that you might need medical services, go to a shelter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You had shelter.
You had a family experience, yeah.
And also for our local listeners, be careful out on the road still. There's traffic lights out.
Yeah, everywhere.
There's going to be a lot of people trying to come back home. So if you don't need to be out, if you can stay inside, stay inside until everything gets cleaned up.
Mother Nature tends to bring out the best and the worst in human nature. Traffic lights out. When a traffic light's out, it's a 4-way stop at an intersection. You treat it like a 4-way stop sign intersection. No, people going through there like figure 8. Remember figure 8s?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh man,
I showed you where they had the bus races at.
We'll be back. Dr. Michael Murray's my guest. There's no flooding in Arizona today.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
Dr. Michael Murray is our guest today, Chief Science Officer at Enzymedica. And Dr. Murray, welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to have you on. I don't know where you are today, Arizona, Sarasota, where are you?
I'm in Arizona today.
Okay, no flooding there. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were smart. You didn't stay in Sarasota. You got out of town.
No, and I didn't watch any football on Sunday, but I watched a lot of weather.
I didn't watch any football either because we didn't have any TV.
Yeah.
So anyway, Mother Nature, right? What can you do? That storm was formidable, and even up where I live, even though it's inland, we got hammered up there. Dr. Murray, it was just. I'm telling you, I've lived here a long time, but it could have been a lot worse. But all's well that ends well. You going to Baltimore?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. We'll be there. We'll send out the hounds. We'll try to find you. You'll be in Enzymedica, yes?
Yes, and I'll be there Thursday and Friday all day. So
okay, good.
Easy to find me.
Oh yeah, we'll find you. I'll have one of my producers with me, and we'll take some pictures and whatnot. By the way, Doctor. By the way, we have a feature now. We stream, of course. The show streams,
right?
And we can stream live anybody that calls into the station anywhere in the world. We can now stream the audience or the guest wherever they may be, anywhere. So anytime you want to be on the stream, you let us know.
Okay.
And we have a company that puts the stream up onto the internet, Facebook, YouTube, our website, and it tracks where the stream goes and how many. Watch it. In the month of August, we had 1.5 million hits.
Wow.
We get 30 we're doing about 30,000 a day on average.
That's great.
5 continents. We're not in South America and Antarctica. And those are the only 2 continents we're not on, but we're on 5 continents. I kid you not. We get the reports. Gary and I were Gilkey, one of my producers who made all this technology happen. He showed me the reports, and I was showing others, and they couldn't believe it. I said, well, it is what it is, man. They can't make it up. We're averaging 30,000 hits a day on the stream. So if you're on the stream, you'll be worldwide. I'm just saying,
Cool.
And it's good for sponsors, and it's good for guests because they get to see you. It would be nice for the audience to see you on the stream. You're a handsome guy. You make a nice appearance. They would like that.
I'll do it.
Okay, we'll get you anytime you want to do that. You let me know, and then Gary will get in touch. It takes about 3 minutes. All you need is a little laptop or a computer with a camera on it, and it takes about 3 minutes, and we get you hooked right in.
Okay, we'll do that next time.
Good enough. How you doing? I was rude. I didn't ask you how you were. How are you?
Well, listen, I'm doing fantastic. Like you said, I certainly understand the situation down there in Florida. And the good thing about radio, I don't think anybody has transistor radios anymore. But if they did, they'd be able to pretty much stay tuned and stay informed, even when the power goes out, right?
I used my iPhone, and I watched the Weather Channel the whole time on my iPhone.
Okay.
That worked.
So the phones didn't go bad, huh?
No. I was connected to the internet and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my only connection to the world. I got this. Of course, it looks like a Motorola TV. These things are so big now. But it was terrific. Yeah, that's how I stayed in touch with I knew the weather was coming. They were tracking it, so it turned out well. What are you going to do? Are you featuring something special? Any breaking news from Enzymedica that you're going to reveal at the show, or what's going on at Enzymedica that we would like to know?
Well, nothing that I can share right now, but yeah, we will be introducing some new products. There's a lot of things we could talk about today too. I don't know if you saw this study, but they did a study where they looked at people that had gastroesophageal reflux disorder. It's a big problem. People take all these drugs for it. And I'd like to talk a little bit about this study, because what the study showed is that eating the Mediterranean diet and drinking alkaline water was actually more effective than taking drugs like Prilosec and Nexium. And there's no side effect, no bad side effect with the diet therapy, and only good things. and we're learning more and more of all the problems that these drugs cause, including another study that showed that these drugs lead to early mortality. So the choice is pretty clear. Change your diet, drink some alkaline water, live longer, or take the easy way out, I guess.
So,
and take a pill and die earlier.
Yeah, take the meds and end up, you can't make it up. I saw that study because lately I'm so dialed into plant-based diet. We'll come back. We can chat a little bit. I think, wasn't it published in JAMA? Am I wrong?
Yeah.
I think it was.
I believe so. I didn't know what we were going to be talking about. It's just something that popped in my head. And while you take the break, I'll take a look at it.
It's interesting, Dr. Murray. Sometimes the obvious escapes people. It would never occur to many. Maybe diet and nutrition would be the prescription that could help. They just turn to the meds. That's the path of least, I guess, medical resistance.
Feel better fast in every...
The perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Dr. Murray just brought to our attention a new study showing that a plant-based Mediterranean-style way of eating coupled with consumption of alkaline water does wonders for acid reflux. Dr. Murray, welcome back to the show. Food's amazing, right? Lest the obvious escape us.
Yeah.
Do you eat a plant-based Mediterranean-style diet, basically?
Yeah, basically. I think there's so many different variants to label the way that we eat when we eat a healthy manner. I like this definition of this new Nordic diet. It's basically a diet that is kind of a modern version of the Mediterranean diet, but was designed in the Nordic countries by chefs, nutritionists, doctors, and really was a good compilation of the basic principles that are found in all healthy diets around the globe, but really tailored for that particular region. And that's probably a closer estimate of how I would define my diet. Yeah, I think there's no doubt about it that when we eat more plant foods, that's better for our bodies. I don't know if you ever did this, but I was a very strict vegan and vegetarian for quite some time in my 20s, and it just didn't serve me well.
How so?
I found myself, my immune system wasn't as strong. I was more susceptible to colds and flus, and I couldn't build muscle mass. Wasn't, even though I was eating a good amount of vegetarian protein and trying to mix and match and make sure I had a good amino acid profile, it was harder for me to put muscle on. I worked out just as hard then as I do now. I don't eat. I haven't eaten much red meat in the last 40 plus years, but I do eat fish on occasion. Some poultry. My main protein sources, I like whey protein and I like egg whites. But other than that, I'd say that my diet is very much vegetarian. 877-897-8255. That can get you in touch with Dr. Michael Murray. Dr. Murray's Chief Science Officer for Enzymedica. Dr. Murray, are you of the view that as people age, their for lack of a better way to put it, their enzyme function starts to diminish? Oh, no question. Absolutely, and that makes them more susceptible to food intolerances and digestive issues. It's amazing how many people notice that as they've gotten older, certain foods just seem to affect them, whereas before, nothing really seemed to affect their digestion, and that is often the result of decline in the secretion of the key digestive enzymes.
What do you make of the idea? I heard somebody say the other day that they didn't put the enzyme in their product that will digest the carbohydrate because they didn't want to. They were of the mind that they didn't want to boost people's blood glucose levels.
Yeah, that's really not much of a factor. When
I heard it, I didn't know what to make of that. I didn't know what to make of that statement.
A lot of the amylase is secreted by salivary hormones, and the process of carbohydrate digestion. A lot of that is completed before it even hits the stomach. So,
I don't know if I buy into that argument that companies are. That just doesn't. intuitively, it doesn't sound right to me. I haven't researched it. I wanted to get your take on it. I don't know.
Yeah, well. Here's the thing: if we don't digest those sugars, they feed bacteria,
yep.
and we get the wrong type of bacteria growing. What happens when we don't break food down into smaller molecules is that the bacteria and the yeast get a hold of those larger molecules, and they convert them to compounds that can cause a lot of gas and bloating. For example, one of the popular dietary treatments of indigestion these days is called the FODMAP diet, where they where people are instructed to avoid foods that have beneficial forms of carbohydrates, basically vegetables and legumes. And sometimes people have a significant improvement in their symptoms, but the diet is not sustainable because it's eliminating many health-promoting foods. So they did a study where they took people, put them on a FODMAP diet, and they had improvement in their symptoms, and then they decided, well, let's give them a digestive enzyme for those types of sugar molecules, and let's see if they can tolerate FODMAPs again. And they found, yes, they can. And it was the first study that really asked the obvious question. If these are compounds in foods that give people problems with digestive symptoms, why don't we just give people enzymes that will help break down those compounds and eliminate their problem? It just makes a lot of sense. Lactose is a sugar. When we don't have the enzyme lactase, we don't digest or break down that sugar properly, and it can cause a lot of gas, bloating,
absolutely,
and even diarrhea. So, and we know that is an accepted treatment of those symptoms in people that are lactose intolerant. You give them an enzyme and it goes away. Well, like you said earlier, sometimes the obvious things seem to go unnoticed, and
I know
they haven't. So if you have digestive issues, it just makes so much more sense to support digestion than it does to take a drug that blocks digestion. And that's basically what these PPIs, as well as many other drugs, do.
And we'll come back. We'll talk some more with Dr. Michael Murray. Let's talk nutrition coast to coast and globally.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Michael Murray's our guest, and he's the Chief Science Officer at Enzymedica. Don't hesitate to call the show if you have a question or comment. Talk about enzymes or whatever's on your mind. It's okay. If sometimes it can get off topic, that's all right, because you may be in a rush, and it's okay. Call. Give us a call at 877-897-8255. That's toll free. And Dr. Murray, welcome back. So, do you think that as people age, they should change should they change their diet as they age?
Yeah, I think they should.
All right. So, what would be, generally speaking, I mean, there are only 3 macronutrients. What would be the change here? I guess it's pretty individual, but are there some general principles that operate? Because I'm getting to the enzymes.
I think you're a lot like me. I know that because we spent so much time together. Calories are valuable, and so the first dietary change that most people should consider as they get older is reducing the number of calories they consume, because our metabolic needs decline as we get older in most cases. You and I like to eat, so we burn more calories through exercise. That's one of the reasons why we exercise, because we can enjoy food more. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. And then I think overall, because calories become so important, we have to choose calories wisely. And I think, as far as the 3 macronutrients go, for most people, where they want to cut back on are carbohydrates. Mm-hmm. You still need the good carbs, vegetables in particular. But definitely cut back on grains, because there's a lot of carbs there. Grains, even whole grains. So,
here's what I'm getting at. That's I figured you would go for that calorie, restricting your calories as we age. So my point, though, would be that along with that would be you have to get the maximum out of what you're eating. Hence, digestive enzymes could help do that. In other words, every calorie counts here, and so you want to make sure that you're digesting your food to the maximum. And I guess because you're going to be eating less calories, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we age, it just becomes important to support all of the basic foundational aspects of health. And Hippocrates said it well. He said that all health begins in the gut. So we have to make improving digestion a key health goal. Because it doesn't matter how great of a diet you eat, if you're not breaking down that food, if you're not assimilating and utilizing it properly, it's not going to do you any good. So, pay attention to how you're digesting food. If you're suffering from gas, bloating, indigestion, heartburn, constipation, these are functional disorders, things that can be improved very easily in most cases by safe and effective natural approaches, safe and effective natural products. And the lead among these are digestive enzymes. Nice commercial there on Digest Gold, America's #1 enzyme product. A lot of people are taking probiotics these days and have unrealistic expectations of what probiotics can do. Probiotics are important. They contribute to overall gastrointestinal health, overall body health, and very important, but they don't digest food. And
some people think so. You know that?
Yeah, they think, I've got gas, bloating, indigestion, heartburn, I'm going to take a probiotic. And sometimes that can help. But if we look at, what might be a more effective arrow for most people, I would say it would be digestive enzymes, because these compounds actually help break down the various food compounds into smaller particles that our body can utilize and absorb.
877-897-8255, toll free. If you're calling from outside the continental United States, it's 813-636-8255. You know, Dr. Murray, what's interesting, and you know this from your own background and training, and the more I have learned and my formal training, and it gets complicated. You know how complicated it gets. I mean, there's the chemistry and all of it, all those courses and whatnot. I find myself looking for going back to first principles in spite of the repertoire of knowledge and information. I say go back to first principles. They seem to always put you in the right direction, don't they?
You got to get the fundamentals down, and it doesn't matter what field you're talking about. If you're talking about sports, if you're talking about language, if you're talking about driving, whatever. You have to have certain fundamentals, certain rules that you follow, and we have to support our digestive tract. We have to digest our food.
When I listen to you, I've listened to you in your talks many times. I've probably attended more of your talks than you have. And I listened to you on the radio all these years, and in our private conversations, I always find you talking in a way that's comprehensible. It's non-jargonized, even when you're talking to pros. And that's important. That's important.
The pros, they're the ones that have lost sight of things the most sometimes.
I know.
It's kind of funny. They get caught up in the looking at the individual trees instead of setting.
Well, you know what? I guess they figure I took all these courses and spent all these hours studying. Damn it, I'm going to use it if I'm going to talk this stuff. No, you don't need to do that, man. Well, we love having you on. We look forward to seeing you in Baltimore. Gary and I will come find you, and we'll chat. Okay.
Yeah, maybe get some real quality time in.
That'd be great. Yeah, it'd be nice to see you.
All right, so let's get people to Enzymedica.com and drmurray.com if they want more information. And we're having a digestive health summit this week. People can learn more about that by going to my website, drmurray.com.
All right, you take care of yourself. Safe travels. See you in Baltimore, okay?
Okay, very good. Bye.
See ya. We'll be back, top of the second hour here, and we'll share some interesting stories that are trending. One on psychologists trying to figure out the key to a thriving life. maybe people can think about, do something about, and are interesting. And the whole notion of thriving and what that means. And psychologists have been trying to figure out what leads to a person thriving during the course of their life. This piece of a recent study was published in a journal called European Psychologist, and looks at the literature available on the concept of human thriving. And the article outlines the key elements that lead to a thriving life. The question becomes, what is that exactly? Thriving. What do you think that means?
Okay.
What's a brief, without looking at the definition, what do you think it means to thrive for you? There's no right or wrong answer, but what does it mean?
Being able to grow and respond to your environment.
Okay, what do you think it means?
Sorry, I was having a drink of water there.
What do you think it means to thrive?
To thrive, I would go along the same lines of with Gary to, I guess, grow in a sense and always improve.
To thrive. To thrive. All right, well, let's consider it. And we'll take your calls, of course. And I would be interested in hearing what you think it means to have a thriving life. Phenomenologists would have a field day with that question, trying to find the meaning of it. To thrive. Survive, thrive, right? Give us a call.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. And if you're local, 813-636-8255.
And I find it interesting that psychologists have been struggling for a good while now to come up with some conceptualization and perspective on a thriving life. Come back, we'll explore it some more. Let's talk nutrition, coast to coast.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends: Virilomax, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension. Exclusively available on Amazon.com.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. The study came over the transom this morning talking about thriving. And what does it mean to thrive? And psychologists are trying to find the key to a thriving life. Well, this is interesting. I wonder if you can get that key made. Send me the key. We'd like you to participate in the conversation. I'm interested in your point of view, what it means to thrive. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. But it's important that if this concept has any value, then it's worth considering. Give us a call.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255. Or if you're local or out of the country, 813-636-8255.
Let's go to Jenkintown. That's up in the east and northeast in Pennsylvania, near Philly. And Mike lives there. Mike, welcome to the show. You had a comment or a question?
Good morning, Dr. Garko, and thank you for picking up my phone.
Absolutely.
And thank you for free education also. I do need your help today. That's about my wife. Mm-hmm. She got a big headache almost every month for 3-4 days.
A headache?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and she got to the doctor and do this blood work. Everything is fine. Everything normal.
Did they do a scan of her brain?
And did the CAT scan in the brain, and everything is clean also. And my question is, what you recommended? What's going to be the next step to do it?
Did they talk to her about what might be causing? Did they describe them as migraine headaches?
No, that's more on a migraine. That's just
okay. So it depends on what kind of headache she has, what part of the head or the brain where the headache is. They did a CAT scan. They didn't find anything. They did probably blood work. They didn't find anything. The question becomes, what's causing that? And I don't know what they told her. Did any of the doctors offer a reason as to why she might be getting the headaches?
So far, it's nothing. And the doctor gave it today. She has to go to take it MRI.
Get an MRI?
Yes, and
okay, so
MRI is going to find it anything more what CAT scan.
Okay, so let them do the MRI and see what that study shows, and then call me back and tell me what they found, if anything. Now, headaches can be caused by, I've talked about headaches on the show. I should talk about them more because it's a common ailment. And headaches can destroy quality of life. Sometimes they can be caused by serious matter, and other times it's always serious when you have it, whatever caused it. It can be stress. It can be diet-related. It can be allergy-related. It can be anatomically related. There are all sorts of causes or reasons as to why people get headaches. And even having poor vision and not wearing your glasses can cause a headache. Yes. But the first thing now is to figure out, let them do this MRI now. They did a CAT scan, and I'm going to do a magnetic resonance imaging. Let them do that, and then call me back and then tell me what if anything, they found.
Good. Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
About toxemia.
Toxemia, yes.
Yes, this can make it headache too. And how can find it out if it's toxic or not?
I don't know. You think she has toxemia? You think that?
Yes, I think because she's smoking. She smokes and she drinks coffee.
Well, those things don't help. That's for sure. They don't help. And I don't know if it's toxemia, but if she's drinking a lot of coffee and smoking, that I'm sure she told her doctor that, right? Maybe not.
I don't know, but I
maybe you should tell him. Maybe you should tell the doctor that.
Maybe not, because
you'll get in trouble.
Yeah, they're going to say stop it.
I know. Yes. Well, I know that's not a good. That doesn't help, and could be related to the issue. So we'll have to wait and see now, and we'll hope that things just be negative on this MRI, but you let me know, and then we'll get back to this,
yes,
okay?
I will soon that I find out what say this result today with MRI.
Okay, Michael.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you
very much.
I'll listen up for your call.
Thank you for your presence last week. You give me opportunity to win this trivia.
It's okay.
So that's just really nice. You give me this chance to win this. That's very good help for me. Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. We're glad we can help, Michael. Thank you. So you see, I fielded that call. I'm not a physician. I'm a PhD and a researcher, nutritionist, and a journalist. I can't diagnose and treat, but I can ask questions. I can direct him where to go, and can consult. We typically, and I don't. Even I have guests who come on who are MDs. They don't diagnose and treat on the air. I ask questions and trying to figure out maybe what might be going on, and then always referring to her physicians. Those are the people that need to take care of her. Her smoking and drinking coffee doesn't help, I am sure, but we'll figure it out.
I find it interesting that a lot of elderly are reluctant to go to a doctor. And they try to fight it off like they're not sick.
Yeah, that's called denial. Or they buy into the medical model where, and this is true of, it's generational, but young people do it too. The medical model whereby the doctor is in charge of everything and you just do what the doctor says.
Right.
You don't want to do that. You want this to be an interaction between you and your doctor. You want to be able to ask questions. You want to be able to push back. You want to be able to do those kinds of things. And I'll tell you what one of my doctors said to me about that. LTN, Coast to Coast.
Everyone's ready.
Women who are pregnant or planning to have a child have specific nutritional needs. Maintaining optimal nutritional intake is important for mother and baby. Body Vigor's Preferred Prenatal can help mother and baby receive the appropriate building blocks for growth, development, and healthy function. The Preferred Prenatal formula provides essential vitamins and minerals, along with added support ingredients such as folic acid and DHA. Preferred Prenatal also incorporates a bonus herbal blend to help the mom-to-be with the uncomfortable side effects of pregnancy, like nausea, vomiting, mood swings, and uterine health. Support a healthy pregnancy for you and your baby with Preferred Prenatal, exclusively on Amazon.com.
what does it mean to thrive? Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. And this study by the lead researcher on it was a Dr. Brown, and he had an interesting idea about thriving. And he said thriving appears to come down to an individual experiencing a sense of development, of getting better at something and succeeding at mastering something. He says that in simplest terms, what underpins it is feeling good about life and yourself and being good at something, close quote. Okay. That's one way to think about it. I wouldn't vehemently say that's all wrong, and that could very well be part of what it means to thrive. And researchers have looked at thriving in different contexts. For example, with infants, you want the infant and the child to thrive, to grow, to develop. And we want to continue that process throughout our life. How do you do that? To grow, to develop, to evolve, to get better, as Dr. Brown says, to get better at something, whatever that something may be. Could be parenting, teaching, doctoring, whatever it might be. I think and to thrive in the face of challenges, that's when it becomes, to me, a very important concept. Can you thrive when dealing with difficult situations that you will confront? It's unavoidable. It's inevitable. It happens to everyone. Financial challenges, physical challenges, health challenges. Can you thrive notwithstanding these challenges? It seems to me, anyway, that thriving requires resilience. You have to be resilient to be able to bounce back, to be able to go forward, despite what obstacles may be in the way, or what may cause you to even have to stop in your tracks. And have you noticed some people seem to be more resilient than others? They just seem to have this ability to thrive, to do better. Some people consider thriving as making money, to thrive financially. Okay. What about spiritually? We need to thrive. We need to keep growing and developing. To thrive means it does imply, both of my producers sort of got to this concept on their own. They hadn't read the literature. They said to develop, to keep growing. And I think that's a process that happens throughout the life cycle. Although, my observation has been that many don't, for different reasons. They give up, or they give in, or they give out. Right? It's easy to say, "Oh, you got to thrive." And I could, it'd be nice to say, "Well, if you just eat this, or if you just do that, that'll get it done. You'll be able to thrive, no matter what." This is an interesting concept, and it is, psychologically, researchers are trying to figure out, what are the keys to a thriving life. In my opinion, without seeing what they had to say, I think being resilient. I think being able to not get swept away by the stream of anxiety and emotion in a difficult moment, and to try to stay calm. You will thrive better in those situations and thrive better throughout life. Some people are wired that way, but I think you can learn to be that way. It's a skill set. I don't think genetically, it could be, I don't know what, somebody born born with some innate ability to just do better and thrive than others? I don't know. But I know one thing, you can learn to be better at it if somebody will take the time to show you. And in essence, isn't that what parents do with children? They're teaching them not only how to survive, but how to thrive in their life, right?
Yes, and I have noticed now more than ever that kids that are able to make their own decisions usually grow up a little bit more. They thrive a little bit more than those with hovering parents.
Right. In other words, they're not the victim of learned helplessness. Read Seligman's work on learned helplessness, learned optimism. Thriving means being optimistic. For me now, this is my own definition. Being resilient, being optimistic, even in the face of peril and bad moments, which is not so easy to do. Thriving also means being willing to change. For me, to change, being willing to change. I find it interesting, the conversation, oh yeah, we have to change, get things change, or everything change. And then when you're trying to get people to change, you almost have to do it at gunpoint. And even then. So it can mean a lot of different things. So it's a multi-dimensional concept. So for me, being resilient, it means being resilient, being optimistic, being willing to embrace change, even if it's uncomfortable. So it's a combination. It's not just one key, but maybe it's a combination lock, and there are a number. You have to turn that dial to different numbers to open the lock. That's how I see it. What do you think?
You can reach us at 877-897-8255, 877-897-8255.
And I wish I could, people say, well, you need to thrive. Eating a good diet will help you thrive. Certainly it will. Physiologically, biologically.
Getting out, meeting people.
Yes, that's part of being connected to the world. In isolation, you will not thrive.
I have a plan. Every day I'm to meet somebody new. That's my plan.
Well, okay. It's funny, my life is so public, but my professional life is so public. My private life, it's like being a monastic monk. It's been that way my whole life. It's interesting. To thrive. Another way to think about health and wellness and well-being. Person with good sense of well-being. Thriving. Yeah? Come back, we'll have the LTN Health Question of the Day. You are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Bodyfigur's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Bodyfigur's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Bodyfigur's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
And here's the LTN Health question of the day, talking about the concept or the principle of thriving. It's an intriguing idea. It's an intriguing concept. I like it. And there's been, if you go and start to poke around and do some research on it, you'll see that in the social sciences it has been dealt with pretty extensively. And this new study by Dr. Daniel Brown talking about thriving and what it means and what's the secret to thriving. First, you got to figure out what is it, what do you need, what is it, and what do you have to do it. But here's the question. It's a simple true or false. I gave the answer. According to Dr. Brown, in simplest terms, what underpins thriving is feeling good about life and yourself and being good at something. Now, is that true or false? Is that what Dr. Brown, is that how he sort of distills it? That thriving underpins feeling good about life and yourself and being good at something. Is that true or false as it pertains to Dr. Brown? Call us, win the prize.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255.
He makes a good point. There's a hint. He makes a good point. And in his paper, he said that thriving is a combination of things. Being optimistic, spiritual, motivated, proactive, learning, someone who enjoys learning, flexible, adaptable, socially competent, believes in self and has self-esteem. But you have to have you have to have certain things to make all that happen. You need opportunity, he says. You need family. You need a support system. That challenges and challenges and difficulties in life are put at some manageable level. You're given some autonomy to do things. And you're trusted as being competent. Those things have to be in place. Now, some have tried to define thriving as resilience, but researchers, and I think you need resilience to thrive, but they separated away from it. I'm inclined to want to include it in the notion of thriving. Can you thrive in your workplace? Can you thrive in your marriage with your partner? Some people thrive their whole life in their marriage with their partners, with each other. Others, not so much. They don't thrive. They don't grow. They don't develop. This is part of health, wellness, and well-being. It's part of, it gets to well-being, your sense of well-being. If you're not thriving in your life, for the most part, in the different dimensions of it, most likely you're not having a good sense of well-being and walking around in the world each day feeling good about yourself and others, being alive and whatnot. And people spend a lot of money going to therapists trying to figure this stuff out, right? And it's interesting to me, too. I've had many opportunities to talk with people who have not necessarily all this formal social science training and this and that. But when you talk to them, their wisdom is profound. And they give you such insight. Right? And that you learn from them. And my mother taught me how to thrive. She didn't realize what she was doing, but that's what she was doing. And you have to be, you better be optimistic, and you better be resilient. You better be willing to change and adapt. You better be connected to the world. You will not thrive if you're disconnected from the world. As unpleasant as it can be at times, it's a beautiful, life can be wonderful, and people can be wonderful. Although, there's the dark side. being isolated by yourself, disconnected. Some people, that's the way I like to live. Well, maybe you like it that way, but is that the right way? In the end, is that the better way? What I've learned is, you take all these theory classes and you're going to school and your PhD work and whatnot, and I took a class in general systems theory and open systems. An open system is one that's connected to the environment, and we are an open system as humans. And when that system starts to shut down and close off, when you get disconnected, people do not thrive. Look what happens to elderly. They're sitting at home by themselves. They're there by themselves. Nobody comes to visit them. I saw it in the nursing home. With my own eyes, surrounded by people, and many of them were not thriving. They weren't doing well. Let's go to Temple Terrace. Ann, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Well, hi, Dr. Garko. What you're saying is so true. Everything you said is the truth.
Well, it's truth as I know it. I don't know what the truth with a capital T is, but...
Well, I think it's pretty true what you're talking about.
It's important to, what do you think about, what I said, being connected to others, trying to be optimistic, trying to be flexible? It's easy to say, huh?
It's not so easy. It's not easy, but it sure is important.
Yeah.
Important to everyone's life, and you're right. In a nursing home, it's very, very sad.
You see people surrounded by people, but they're not thriving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be connected in some manner.
So what that statement that I attributed to Dr. Brown, is that a true or a false statement?
Well, of course, it's true.
Yeah, it is true. Congratulations, you won a $25 supplement gift card. I'm glad that you called. Thank you for listening to the show. I appreciate your comments. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You take care of yourself. Sometimes it's not just about chemistry. It's not about diet and this and that, anatomy. There's another part of us. Our psychological life, our spiritual life. Those constitute our health, wellness, and well-being too. And I like to talk about those from time to time with you. Thank you for tuning in today. It's a privilege to be with you each and every day. Let's Talk Nutrition is coast to coast and globally. We stream, we do all kinds of things. Please visit our website at letstalknutrition.com. In the meanwhile, your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you.
At Country Life Vitamins, we've